Welcome into the third episode of the Gamefall Podcast. Kyle Sherman, John McVeigh here, wrapping up E3 for you. We left things off with the Sony press conference. Mm-hmm. We still have to discuss Nintendo's Nintendo Direct on Tuesday there, and then we'll give you our final thoughts here on E3 2018, a very exciting week of gaming news and demos, and oh man, there was so much stuff there. A lot of stuff I'm excited for. I know you're excited for as well. Mm-hmm. And so we'll cover Nintendo. We'll wrap up E3, our final thoughts on that, and then we'll kind of look ahead to what's going to be coming up here on the Gamefall Podcast. Mm-hmm. Maybe bounce some ideas off of each other here about what we want to discuss next and that sort of thing. But with that, let's just go ahead and jump right in. Nintendo's Nintendo Direct, Nintendo Treehouse, whatever you want to call their E3 presentation, was a succinct one, but it was one that I know, John, got you very excited.
I was really excited to see quite a few of the things that they announced. Let's just start with the Pokeball. It's going to come packed with Mew. They found it. They did it. They found a way to make me buy the stupid thing. So I had to pre-order it because apparently the bundle that comes with the Pokeball and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu is rapidly disappearing. So I had to go to the store and pre-order it that way because it wasn't online. I couldn't find it.
Don't lie.
I was going to get it anyway. They just made it even easier. So I want to start with Xenoblade. They announced some DLC. It's called the Golden Country. I've been playing Xenoblade for a little bit. I'm about 45 hours in.
So just a little bit.
I think I finally got past all the frickin' tutorials that they've put in this game. 40 hours in, I got a tutorial and I go, you have to be kidding. This has to be over. I have to have seen all of the mechanics. But nope, I apparently hadn't. I do like their stupid Facebook minigame that was put into the middle of it called Mercenary Groups that is now tied to the progression of the fancy bird guy that his name is escaping me. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun trying to unlock his affinity chart all the way. Not really. But I'm trying to do it anyway. I'll probably give up like I do on most of those games.
Believe in yourself, John.
And because we're going down into a low note, we're going into Fortnite on the Switch. Yeah, that's right. It really happened. It actually plays well. I tried it once. First off, not a fan of Battle Royale, but I did like what I played. It played well, lagged very minimally. I'd say probably just as much as PUBG has lagged every time I've played it, which isn't that much. I never got kicked out of the match, so that's even better than PUBG right there.
So, did you play Fortnite on PS4 or anything like that?
Oh yeah, we're getting there. I did not. I did not. And I'm so glad I didn't, because apparently you have to create an Epic account, and if you create an Epic account so that your progression can transfer across any medium, yeah, it won't go here. It won't go here at all. In fact, if you started here, enjoy it, because this is where you stay. The PlayStation. That's all you know. Because, of course, hey, Sony, it's not just game journalists that have every system. No, some of us have a PlayStation 4 and really think you're doing good stuff. Some of us also have a Switch and think they're doing good stuff. Some of us have an Xbox and maybe we want to play Fortnite with someone on the Xbox, or maybe we want to play it on Switch with one of our friends in another state that might happen to have a Switch but isn't fortunate enough to have 2 or 3 consoles. And no, you're just saying, nope, not doing it. And it kind of sucks, especially when you had an awesome delivery at E3 the day before. And then this news comes out and you hear crickets. Not answering anything. Some people are speculating that it's because, there was special DLC that was only for the PlayStation 4 and it was a skin for your character. I think that's bogus. Because I'm pretty sure the developers already have found a way to figure out how to show that skin to people on mobile, on PC, on Xbox, and on Switch. What it comes down to is Sony's not losing right now, so they don't want to give up any ground. And we're just going to have to wait until maybe next generation, which has been teased. But that's enough of that.
You know what? Before you move on to the next thing, a thought occurred to me. We need to make you a segment, John. Just once a show, We'll let John go off.
We'll let John go
We'll
off.
let him go off. He'll rant about whatever he wants, but I think we need a name for the segment.
John's Dilemmas?
We won't worry about that now, but I think in the future we're going to bring up a subject, and if John feels like he's going to go off on a rant, he's going to start that segment. Maybe we'll make a graphic for it and everything.
Maybe like the raid siren? Maybe that would probably be a good idea.
That's not a bad sound effect, but, ideas for future shows. I think that's an appropriate segment for John because, John, you tend to, you're prone to ranting on occasion.
I mean, this is already getting me mad about Rocket League, which we can't start there because that started on PlayStation 4, and I still can't play it with people on PlayStation 4. I could play it. Okay, yeah, we can't go there. I'm gonna be here all night if we start doing that. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then the one thing they said they were gonna talk a crap ton about, which they talked a crap ton about. Let's see, Star Fox. I don't know if we can even get that close enough. But there you go. There's Star Fox. He's in what? That's right. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's going to have 65 characters with a few alternates. They're called Echoes. They're basically the black version. So there's, if you remember playing as Kid Icarus, there was, the black is Black Pit. Isn't his name Pit? I think his name's Pit.
Sounds
you
right.
can correct us down below. They're going to work. The amiibos from the Wii U game are going to work. And the amiibos from other games, like Super Mario Odyssey. There's Bowser. There you go. This is actually my favorite one, because he's in a totally different suit.
The best one, though, is Princess Peach.
Princess Peach. Extra hearts, man. That's like an easy win.
It's a lifesaver for Super Mario Odyssey, but I think we're losing track here.
We're totally losing track.
So amiibos will be working from the old game. And
if you remember,
current
they work from the old game, and if you kept the save and didn't erase it and be stupid and use it for the stupid Mario Party, which, Mario Party's great, don't get me wrong, but Smash is better. So if you erased your save to let this play on the Mario Party, you're kind of out of luck. But if you kept your save, your character's progression in the Wii U Smash carries on over to the new one, which is nice. I like that. It's out of touch. It's great. Every single character, Kyle. Every single character from every Smash game. Including all third-party characters, which is mind-blowing. I don't know how they managed to finagle their way into getting Solid Snake yet again with the original voice actor, because everybody loves the original voice actor. David Hayter, I believe is his name. He's back.
You're bearing the lead, John. Mr. Game & Watch is making his return.
Oh, am I burying the lead? Or do I just hate hearing Mr. Game & Watch at the end of every match?
Music to my ears.
Baconating son of a bee. So, a little backstory on that. We used to play Smash, and Kyle was always Mr. Game & Watch, because we would only play it in one mode, because we wanted to unlock every character, and you had to play like several hundred rounds to get this character to unlock. So we put on bunny hoods, put our starting damage at 300, and did super sudden death mode. We had 1 life in stock match. They lasted for 10 seconds each. Kyle would always sit at the corner and throw bacon, and we'd all die. Hence, Mr. Game & Watch.
Good times, good times.
I hate you so much. So yeah, be excited for that, because that comes out this year, near the holiday, so that's going to be fun. They also mentioned Fire Emblem. They finally gave it a name, Three Houses. It'll be out in 2019. If you like not real-time strategy. Is it real-time strategy? It's kind of like Advance Wars. I don't know. I don't play Fire Emblem. But if you like it, it looks really good. And it's going to be available early next year. So there you go.
I haven't owned a Nintendo console since the Wii, and that was just for very limited games. Just, Zelda. More or less. So
Mario
before
Galaxy.
that... Well, okay, Mario Galaxy as well. Before that, it was the N64, so
Can we
I'll
just-
admit to being a little bit behind the times on Nintendo. You're the true Nintendo aficionado of the group here, and...
Can we just take a break right there? I've recently found out that Kyle has not finished a single 2D Mario game. And yet, he likes Mario more than Zelda. It doesn't make any sense to me. But as he said, he had a 64 and not the other ones, so I guess we'll let it pass for now, but we're going to have to find a way to get you to play one to the end.
Gladly. I played parts of them.
In fact,
John misleads a little bit. I played parts of them at friends' houses and that sort of thing. I just never stayed there long enough to actually beat a full game, or we would trade off the controller when one of us would die.
Apparently I found out when that was, because Kyle couldn't play the 2D sections of Super Mario Odyssey when it was just little pillars next to each other and all you had to do was hold the run button to get across them. He kept I'm gonna hop, and I fell, oh no, I gotta do it again. To which I replied, hold the run button, and then he goes, I don't know what that is. So yeah.
You're misrepresenting it a little bit, but
basically,
there's some truth to that.
I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically how it happened. The last thing
not all of us played it as a kid, so
yeah.
I'm a 3D game guy.
Back to the Direct, though. The last thing I want to talk about is they rapid-fired some games that were coming out. Overcooked 2 was announced. That should be fun if you liked the first one, which was a cooking game. And Wolfenstein showed up there again, so it is still coming out. And then
Rumor has it this year.
Oh yeah, it's still slated for this year. Really soon, actually, just a few months away.
About time.
I'm excited to play that on the Switch.
Some of us have had it on PS4 for a little while, but still haven't beaten it yet.
Some of us don't care. And then Ark Survival Evolved. I've actually been holding off on this one. I was going to play it on the PlayStation. And then I decided not to. And now it's coming out on the Switch. And maybe I'll pick it up. Maybe I won't. Nobody knows. But it's coming in the fall. Along with several other games. And that's pretty much the Nintendo Direct in a nutshell in the views of my eyes and what I thought was interesting and worth talking about.
Ark Survival Evolved.
Dinosaurs. What more do you need?
Nothing! But it's your whole infatuation with this game. You're like, I need this game. You were gonna buy the pre-release version because you were so excited about it.
Yeah, and then I found out it was on PC, and people could come in when you were at work and destroy your fort, and I wasn't having any of that.
Then you're like, oh, I'll get it on PS4, and then
they
it's like,
still were able to do that.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh, now I'll get it on Switch.
Because you can play it offline. No one can come attack your stuff if you're playing it offline. You can probably do that on the PlayStation 1. I don't know at this point, but it's a mute thing. Dinosaurs on the go. What's better than that?
Welcome to my hell.
And that leads us to the end of all of our press conferences.
Well, I was just going to give my thoughts on... I did watch the Nintendo Direct and that sort of thing, but... Come here. We're going to have another appearance from John's dog, Lily, or at least you can hear her. I thought it was a solid little conference. Whatever you want to call it. A little dry, just with the nature of how Nintendo does things, the pre-recorded video and having to use translators and that sort of thing for their Japanese developers and that sort of stuff kind of drug it down a little bit in my opinion, but that's just the nature of the beast when it comes to Nintendo. But I was really excited by all the information about Super Smash Bros. I love the fact that we're getting all of the characters that have ever appeared in it.
Including Ridley as a playable character. That's all you need to know. Metroid.
But why would you play by anybody else? As anybody else? Besides Mr. Game & Watch?
Oh, you mean other than Kirby? And or Yoshi so I can poop your egg off the cliff?
You did give me a few times with that.
Probably because Ridley has never been playable in Smash before and is now playable. Also,
that's exciting.
The Inklings are playable, and they shoot real ink, and your ink expires, and you have to reload by going underground. It's actually, really thoughtful. They did a lot of care into the franchises and being true to them.
Exciting to me that it's not only the entire back catalog, but we are getting some new characters as well. You mentioned Ridley, the Inklings being in there and stuff like that. All, super cool thing for Nintendo to do. You always expect new characters when they put out a new Smash Brothers game.
And there's only 2 this time, so people were upset about that. But you get 65 characters.
That's apparently not enough for some people, though.
It's way more than we've ever gotten.
It's way more than I would ever play with.
Exactly.
Pikachu?
Oh, he's there.
Mr. Game & Watch?
Yep.
Kirby.
Yep.
Those are my big 3.
My big 3? I'm pretty much a terrible Smash player. Kirby, and Kirby.
Oh, guess who was the person that everybody hated to play with because it was the bacon,
and
then it was just the C-stick, man.
I hate
just
you so much.
hitting those smashes.
I hate you so much right now. I'd also try Link every once in a while.
I was decent at 64, the original Super Smash Bros. But
we don't know if there's a new Subspace Emissary mode, which was my favorite mode. But we'll find out more details later. I'm sure.
So that'll wrap up Nintendo Direct. That'll wrap up the E3 press conferences. I guess now it's time to go through. We mentioned where we had things ranked the last podcast. Where are you at now, John? Where does Nintendo fall in your spectrum here?
Well, Nintendo's press conference sucked because they didn't talk about Metroid Prime 4 at all. And they didn't mention the Retro Studios game, so I'm giving it a 0 out of 10. I'm just kidding. It gets about like a 7. It was middle of the road. There were things I expected to hear. There were things that were new that were exciting, like Mew and the Pokeball, Ridley as a playable character in Smash, new DLC for Xenoblade. So yeah, that's going to probably be like a 7 out of 10. But in terms of it being in the middle of all of the conferences, I'd probably have to put it just above Microsoft. Actually, probably below Microsoft, because Microsoft announced 5 new studios.
So is that 5th for you out of the 6?
So it went EA, Square, then it's going to be Nintendo, then it's going to be Microsoft, then it's going to be Ubisoft, then it's going to be Bethesda, and only because we got to see Last of Us gameplay and Spider-Man gameplay, Sony gets put up at the top spot. Even though they're doing some bad stuff with Fortnite.
But who cares about Fortnite?
Ghost of Tsushima was really good. I'm probably not going to play it that much, so it's probably not skin off my back, but I know that a lot of people like it.
I played it on Xbox.
2 million people have downloaded it on the Switch and counting.
I played it on Xbox. It's fun. It's okay. Not my cup of tea.
I haven't gotten into the building. Maybe if I got into the building, it'd be better.
It's complicated. You have to definitely, it takes practice and that sort of thing. But, yeah. It is what it is. And you have to kind of know where to get weapons and that sort of thing. And I'm not great at that, so it's not my favorite game. I'd kind of agree with where you put Nintendo, below Microsoft in my opinion, but above EA and Square. Square, yeah, it's a close tie between Nintendo and Square for me. I mean, just for me, not having a Switch and it being a majority about Super Smash Bros. Just cool, but in terms of keeping my attention, not the best. And so, but I will put it above Square though, even though Square has some games that are exciting to me. But I do love Smash, and I am excited about that, and Wolfenstein coming is definitely cool. And if I get a Switch, hopefully, it would definitely be cool. But in my mind, it's gonna go EA at the bottom. I'm gonna say Nintendo. Actually, I changed my mind. Nintendo, Square. Whoa. Tomb Raider. I love that series. So
okay.
that alone just kind of bumps it up there for me. And then from there, Microsoft, Bethesda, Ubisoft, Sony.
Which apparently lots of people love an Odyssey. Is the buzz around the internet right now?
Looks incredible. I mean, we talked about this last time, and I am super psyched about it, and so many ways. Yes. And it's I mean, it looks awesome, and it's Assassin's Creed. It's set in Greece. I mean, you're playing as a Spartan. What more could you ask for?
I'm wondering if Cassandra's going to go on an Odyssey, much like Homer, because they're embracing mythology.
Well, we do get to meet Socrates apparently in that game, which is interesting. So, getting into those Greek philosophers, maybe
they'll
teach us a little bit. Open up our minds, expand our...
Maybe in Ubisoft fashion, some drugs will happen there, and then boom, we're back into mythology and all that stuff that comes with it. What is it? The sirens? Yeah, maybe they'll show up. I don't know.
Who's to say?
Tune in next week. Just kidding.
But that does transition us out of our, kind of ranking of those. But that brings me to I guess, the bigger overall question about E3. What has you most excited?
What has me most excited? I guess I would have to say Mario Party. I'm totally trolling you.
I know you are.
But they did do one really cool thing, which was if you do get Mario Party and you put 2 Switches together, you can move the screens beside each other. There's an actual mini game in there. And then where the screens are sitting, your characters walk through your Switch into the other person's Switch. It's mind-blowing. I don't know how they did it.
Technology, huh?
Ain't it grand? The thing that had me most excited, I got 2 things. One, I'm not going to be able to play for forever. Okay, technically 2 I won't be able to play forever. Starfield and The Elder Scrolls 6. And then the one I'm most excited about that I can play this year is probably going to have to be...
It shouldn't be that hard.
It's a little bit hard.
What, got you the most
got me
excited?
jazzed?
I'm just trying to think.
I'm going to be honest. Smash got me really excited. Because I'm excited to play. Excited to get people over and have some Smash.
I'm excited to really upset you and piss you off with Mr. Game & Watch.
And that's all part of the experience. Unfortunately.
Well, if you're breaking into 2 categories, I guess I can do the same. Looking down the road, the things that have me the most excited have to be the Sony exclusives.
Yep.
Really excited to play Spider-Man this year. We don't know too much about, release dates for The Last of Us 2
probably not gonna be this
or
year.
Ghosts of Tsushima. Really excited for both of those games.
They are great.
And in terms of this year, I'm going to have to split it between Spider-Man and Odyssey. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Just, how much I love the Assassin's Creed universe, so that, that really excites me. And then Spider-Man just looks absolutely incredible. And
Traversal, I'm still amazed.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this at length, and just both of those games look incredible. I'm excited to see where things go for Xbox with some of their exclusives and the Games Pass putting out their new exclusives same day on Games Pass.
That's what I'm most excited about, because I'm hoping they don't raise the price.
It's inevitable eventually.
Oh, they will.
We'll see how long it sticks at the current price right now. And I guess I'm losing my train of thought here, but those are what really excite me. If you have to, so you're really excited about Bethesda's future. I mean, that's obvious from your reaction, the way you rank them, and that sort of thing.
Bethesda's going to be rolling in some significant amounts of cash here in the next, probably, I'm going to guess 4 years. 4 or 5 years. Of your cash? Oh, well, no, because I'm only going to buy the copy once, so I'm talking about everyone as a whole dumping their money in.
John's reaction to Bethesda's conference was, "Shut up and take my money."
Basically, I was ready to just fork it all over. You want my direct deposit from work? You got it. Not kidding. Well, okay, yeah, I am kidding. They can't have
But
it.
not, though. But
I will buy them.
For me, I'm excited about Bethesda's future, but things like Fallout 76, I'm a little wary of. It's exciting, the stuff they announced, but
I just think it'll be cool to actually play a Fallout game together.
Yes, I'm excited about that prospect, but we'll see how it works with the, 11 other players on the map.
It's going to be a little dicey sometimes. Sometimes people will help you out, but I have a feeling maybe they'll be like the Monster Hunter community and take a fledgling Monster Hunter under their wing and let them rise to greatness.
What? I'm a fledgling Monster Hunter?
Well, not anymore. But at the start of World, you were a wee Monster Hunter who only knew about pretty much everything terminology-wise because he had to listen to me talk to people playing it hours on end. He just didn't know what anything looked like.
A year. For a year.
Overseas.
Living in England. My one night, or my one day I spent at my one weekend day that I spent at my apartment, I would get on Skype, listen to John and some of his friends from college play Monster Hunter for hours, and that was my taste of home. So
he'd also tell us what items we needed to make failing bombs because we talked about failing bombs so much.
Never played the game either. There's one thing you can do to upset John. Above all else, you purchase a game that he loves and insists you play, and then you don't play it. Purchase Monster Hunter Tri.
Not only don't play it, but leave it in shrink wrap for months.
The funny thing is, usually you have a 30-day window to return that.
Oh, he passed that. It was way past that.
I had to trade it in. I lost about $15 on game value because I didn't return it quick enough. I had good intentions.
Oh my god!
It never happened. But so I did that with Monster Hunter Tri.
He rectified the situation though.
With Monster Hunter World, and I've played that a good amount. We've kind of...
John was right.
Whatever. I'll give you that one. The other one though was Mass Effect.
John was right again.
Because I played the intro and I was like, this seems like a lot.
I don't think I've met a bigger fan, at least in my circle, than Kyle.
So great. I wish Andromeda was better.
It was alright. It didn't capture my... It didn't hook me.
So that brings us to our next topic of discussion.
Yes.
And that's, what's next? And I mean that in a broad sense. Mm-hmm. Because I want to know what's next for you, what game you're working on, where you're going to go from there. As we hit the summer lull here, post E3, we're going to have to wait till September 8th. It's going to be nice. But, kind of what's next to play on your list of games, and then... Well, let's just get into that first. We can go into my part B of what's next with that. So, John, what are you playing now? What's next?
What I'm playing now? Well, I started Fallout Shelter. It's definitely a mobile game. Probably not going to keep playing it.
I could have told you that. I had it on my iPad for a while.
Yeah. I tried Fortnite. Probably not going to play that much either. I have been getting back into Xenoblade. I really actually like that game. And the thing I like the most about that game is I like to play games about halfway through, and then I just fall off and pick them back up like a year later and start from the middle.
And if you want to upset Kyle, that's how you do it.
Yeah. So I do that all the time. And the nice thing about that is the battle system's so simple on the surface that you can keep playing halfway through the game after taking like 6 months off and not miss a beat.
Sorry, you still got tutorials to go.
Oh yeah, you still got tutorials to go, but not miss a beat. So probably gonna maybe attempt to finish that one. I probably will not be picking up the DLC called The Golden Country because I don't want to buy it, even though it looks good. And then what's next? Let's see. I don't know, Mario Tennis? Maybe Wolfenstein? Just depends on which one I decide to buy. I know I could borrow a copy, but I can't borrow it and play it on the Switch. So that's what's
I have
next
thoughts
for me.
about that.
He doesn't like it.
John used to be a PS4 homer. I'm going to get to that in a second. Oh. I need my moment. And would only play stuff on the PS4. And now it's transitioned to he will not pick up a game, AAA game, when it launches, because he's like, I gotta wait for the Switch version. The Switch versions aren't coming out anywhere near the time frame of the Xbox or PlayStation 4 versions, and frankly, it's gonna run better on those ones anyway. My moment. I let you go. This is my turn. Rant over. Very mini rant.
They still play. I'm just apparently a Switch hipster, so...
That and John's tendency to start a game, quit, and then pick it up months later to a year later, and just act like he never put it down. I can't do that. If I start a story, I need to get through it. I need to finish it. And
full disclosure,
I
read books like that, too.
I also can't stop a movie halfway through. I hate that. It drives me insane.
Oh, that's different. That's a movie. It's 2 hours.
But your insistence on always doing it with the Assassin's Creed games bugged me to no end.
It's the same gameplay for 30 extra hours. I don't need it. I don't need it. I played it.
John.
I experienced everything. Every button I'm going to hit is the same button I'm going to hit at the end of the game as halfway through. So I was good.
You're a terrible human being. There's a special circle of hell reserved for people like you. Rant over. I am currently playing Wolfenstein 2. Yes. A mix between Wolfenstein 2 and actually I just picked up a couple weeks ago Lego Marvel Superheroes 2.
Ooh, which is that good?
I'm not enjoying it as much as I enjoyed the first one. It's
the first one was really good.
I think they tried to add too much and switch things up.
It?
I did not platinum.
You platinum one of them.
I did platinum that one.
It was a Marvel game. There's been 3 Marvel games on the PlayStation 4.
I don't think it was. I think it was Marvel Superheroes 1, not
sure
Avengers.
Sure it wasn't the Avengers one?
I don't think it was the Avengers one.
I think it was Marvel Superheroes.
Yeah.
You had to get all the Deadpool stuff?
Yeah.
Then it's Superheroes.
And so this one, instead of Deadpool, it's Gwenpool. And instead of the Helicarrier, it's now the Avengers Mansion.
The Helicarrier was actually really cool.
Yeah, and they switched it up, so now it's like Kang the Conqueror sort of abducts all these different things.
Who's that?
He's a villain.
Okay.
That's all you need to know. And so you kind of like have this weird thing like where sections of different maps are all shoved together. So you have a small section of Manhattan, you have a small section of Asgard, you have a small section of whatever. And it's just not the most continuous map, and it just doesn't work as well, I think, as the old one. And they added a thing too, I don't remember it being in the first one, where if you hold X, it does like a super jump. And so my problem is apparently I hold the X button a little too long as opposed to just tapping it when I'm trying to jump normally. And
that's a problem.
So it causes problems for me, and it's kind of really annoying. But
so you fly into the ceiling. Basically.
So that game's progressing slowly. It's more if I just want to sit down and play for 30 minutes or something like that.
Lego games have always been a time waster.
Yeah.
That's what they're good for.
And I paid $5 for it, so.
And they have humor. So.
It was dirt cheap, so I've been playing that. Wolfenstein, I just have to be in the right mood for that. It's a very, intense game. You die a lot, or at least I die a lot.
You can even farm to upgrade your skills by killing people and then letting yourself die.
Yes, and I have done that with some certain things, but it's a challenging game, and I enjoy that about it. But it's just there's a lot more to this one than there was the old one.
Question: are there still branching like secret tunnel paths to get behind people?
Yes, and maybe even more so in this one than in the original. So there's lots of opportunities to sneak around and stuff like that. It's fun. I'm really enjoying it, but it's just in my mind, Wolfenstein takes a certain mood, and I've been studying for a test here lately, and so it's been kind of on the back burner, and that's why I've been playing the Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, is because it's something that I can just pick up when I'm done studying and just play mindlessly for 30 minutes. That, or occasionally I'll throw on MLB The Show
18?
16. Whoa. Throwback. I don't buy new sports games every year. It drives me insane. There's very slight updates and stuff like that. So that's one I'll throw on to be mindless. The last new sports game I bought was 2K18, and I hate it. They took everything good about NBA 2K17 and ruined it.
Oh, you mean the one where they want you to pay more money after you paid for the game?
Yes, exactly. So, those are the 3 games I've been playing. In terms of what's next for me, I think it's going to be a return to a game I didn't beat. And that first one, I think, will be Horizon Zero Dawn.
Because Kyle doesn't let a lot of games slide when he picks them up.
I don't like to. I really enjoyed that game. It's just one of those things where I got busy and just never got the chance to finish it.
I am going to warn you, because I dropped off, as I always do. And I went back. And it is a very fast game. You wouldn't think it's as fast as it is, but when you start in the middle, near the end of the game, where all the things are like trying to kill you every chance they get, it's rough. So maybe when you start in, load back to a smaller area and get your feet wet.
I was planning on getting reacclimated.
Yes.
So I think that, and I think I also want to try to finish off my Mass Effect Andromeda. Never beat that one. It was a weird time. It came out
right before Horizon.
Yes, but it was also fall, which was my busiest time of year. Winter and fall were just slammed for me, and so it was tough to do much in those games without investing a lot of time. So I think those are the 2 games I want to go back to, and so I guess that wraps up what's next for us in terms of what we're playing. But John, what's subject you would want to, kind of delve into here next week. I'm thinking I want to talk about God of War because that was such an incredible game, and
you have my attention.
Sony Santa Monica just built a masterpiece. I mean, I don't think there's any other way to say that. So I think next week,
masterclass in
next week,
games.
I think that's what I would like to talk about. Is there any that'll be my subject I bring to the table? Is there anything that you want to talk about next week?
Well, obviously God of War.
All right, we're going to talk God of War next week. That sounds like a good plan.
That's, section 1 down.
And if there's any news that comes out between now and then, we will add that to the discussion. But
highlights.
We're going to take a deep dive into God of War, our thoughts on that game, and what they have next for that game, because a rumor has it...
New Game Plus.
Yes, but 5 sequels in the works.
When did this happen?
We'll talk about it next week.
No!
Final thoughts from you, John. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Sony, you gotta get on the crossplay bandwagon. It's getting old. Everybody else is doing it. And it's not like jumping off a cliff, so you'll be fine.
Well, it was a fun E3, and this fun way to kick things off for us, and that'll wrap things up. He's John McVeigh.
I'm Kyle Sherman.
Kyle Sherman. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.